Hello friends and family. Today I'm going to be sharing one of my favorite taco recipes. It is quite to the point and so satisfying. It's a barbecue zucchini lentil taco recipe. It'll sound more cohesive once we put it together, I promise. It's amazing. We're going to be making that as well as pickled onions and slaw as optional toppings. So let's get started. We're going to begin with the pickled onions. Oh my gosh, pickled onions are so amazing. They're so good on a multitude of dishes. So let's get started. So the onions are pretty straightforward. This is just a visual aid as I do a really great job pouring the brine in a jar. You can go ahead and make the onions days or weeks in advance. Since vinegar and sugar are both preservatives, they should last a good while. Although they're so delicious, they probably won't stay that long in your refrigerator. So getting started on the lentil zucchini meat, you are going to need a cup of green lentils. I definitely suggest using green over red lentils just because they lend totally different textures. So usually I would soak my lentils overnight, but I wasn't sure when I was going to film this and just decided to do it today. So we're just giving them a good rinse. Hello. Hi. I'm filming a recipe video. For every 1 cup of lentils, I do 2 cups of water. Bring the lentils to a rolling boil and then turn it down and cover with a lid for about 45 minutes or until all the water is dissolved and the lentils are soft. Don't forget to throw a little bit of salt in there. In the meantime, while the lentils are cooking, it is a good time to start prepping your slaw. I feel like I'm always cooking with cabbage on here or making slaw of some sort, but slaws are underrated, you guys. Never underestimate a good slaw. It can transform any dish with its salty, crunchy, savory component. So good. So since I already broke the mandolin out for the onions, I'm just gonna use it for making the slaw as well. And I feel like slaw is a pretty personal thing. Like, doesn't everyone kind of just have their own way of making slaw? I think so. In my slaw, it's just cabbage, veganaise, salt, a little bit of acid, so lemon or rice wine vinegar. Rice vinegar, I don't think it's rice wine vinegar. Sometimes jalapenos, you know, whatever we're feeling. Today we're gonna keep it pretty simple though. This is how I like my slaw. It is super fine, and yeah, I do not like big chunks of cabbage in my slaw. This is so good. And if you haven't invested in a mandolin, just do it. They're only like 20 bucks and it saves you so much time. So I really want to advocate for intuitive cooking, which means eating what your body wants when it feels like it, and also intuiting how much of a certain spice, salt, you know, whatever, to go into a dish rather than exactly following a recipe, being able to substitute things out. So A good way to begin with intuitive cooking, if you don't already do it, is to just freaking do it. So I'm not gonna give you a recipe for the slaw. You're gonna intuit it. I'll show you what I do, but I'm not gonna give you measurements because slaw is easy. I don't think anyone can mess up slaw. So cabbage is going in. Oh, I forgot that I needed onion. Let me chop some onion real quick. So far we have half a head of cabbage, some white onion, salt, black pepper, and I'm gonna throw in a splash of rice vinegar just for some acidity. I love rice vinegar as a neutral acid because you can distinctly taste apple cider vinegar and you can distinctly taste lemon juice, but rice vinegar just gives it that twang without the other flavors. So it's a little dash. But if you don't have rice vinegar, you can easily use lemon, which is what I would suggest in slaw. All right. Now it's time for veganese. You want your slaw moist. I'll never understand what people's issue is with the word moist. Like, so many grown adults I know are like, don't say moist. I'm gonna use it as much as I can to make anyone who has that weird issue with the word feel uncomfortable. So let's moisten the slaw up with some veganese. Anthony's gonna be so happy. I've never met a human being that loves slaw as much as that man does. It's kind of absurd. I have this very sad little jalapeno that I'm gonna mince up to go in there, as well as some green onions, because I've been making purple slaw and it's super colorful, and I'm just kind of bothered by how monotone this is. I just can't help myself. I want these tacos to be colorful because who doesn't want to eat colorful food? This, my friends, is perfection. Wow, I usually always have to adjust my slaw and my glasses. But the ratios are right on point this time. Okay, so back to the barbecue filling. We are gonna need about a tablespoon of butter. Get that heating up in a skillet. In the meantime, chop half of a white onion. You want it pretty fine so it will just blend in with the lentils. And caramelize that for about 15 minutes. You wanna let it do its thing and just stir pretty frequently. And shred your zucchini while that's going. It looks like a tremendous amount of zucchini. I know, but it cooks down, so don't worry. You can also substitute carrots if you're ever out of zucchini or just want to swap it up. Carrots work great in this recipe. See, this is a whole mountain of zucchini right here. And these are the onions after about 15 minutes in the skillet. And you're going to throw your zucchini in with a little pinch of salt and just cook that for like 5 minutes so some of the water will release out of the zucchini. Toss in your lentils. And Stubbs BBQ sauce, the original kind, is my favorite. It's my go-to. You can find it anywhere. That's what I recommend. But if you have your favorite barbecue sauce, go ahead and use that. And then let that simmer for about 5 more minutes so the flavors can just meld together and you're done. So I forgot to charge my camera, so it's about to die and the light is fading away. But I figured I'd give you guys a little taste test. I tried the meat by itself and it is so amazing, I promise. It is so freaking good. And I highly recommend the Stubbs BBQ sauce as well, so if you can find that, definitely get it. Here we go. Oh my god. Truly, this is one of the most fire tacos I've ever had. It's a salt, pickled onion, barbecue combo. Try it. Just do it. If you ever do anything, make this taco. My glasses are always crooked in the video and I can't take myself seriously. Yo. This would even be so good on a sandwich. I'm gonna start a series called Leftover Renditions, I think, because I always turn my leftovers into masterpieces, and I feel like I can make something really good with the leftovers. And there's a lot of them, but I'm not complaining, dude. This is one of those things that is just a flavor bomb. So let me know if you try it. I would love some feedback. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I will see you soon. Until next time.